Oh, Evans.
Sandwiches or something? Oh, for tournament. Okay.
Yeah. Ding-a-ling. Hello, everybody, and welcome to, quote, Will Rogers Rotary Club of Tulsa, the friendliest club in District 61. It's probably the first time I've ever gotten that right without fubbing something up. Susie wrote it down for me. Isn't that nice of Susie? She's fantastic. If you're able, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Moment of inspiration this morning. We are working on a project for where I work, Pause for Pause. It's called Party with Pause. There's some postcards up there. It's going to be a fun walk downtown on May 3rd, Saturday. $20 to register. You get a free shirt, and it's from 9 to 11. We're going to have some new stations this year, and RC Cartsy, Mary McNunn, who's going to come speak soon at our here, and then also Hornsby with the Tulsa Drillers. We're working on getting him to make an appearance. And there'll be balloon stations and face painting for the kids and grandkids, and your pets are welcome on a leash. Please bring them, or if you got a cat in a backpack, bring them too. There'll be donuts, there'll be water, there'll be photo ops. It'll be a lot of fun. So postcards are down there, and along with some postcards from Sistema and some more information on them. Do we have any birthdays or anniversaries? None at all?
Somebody has a birthday.
Somebody's got one, I just didn't look it up. July, no, that's too.
Did Peter has one?
Peter has one, the
Peter.
27th.
Oh, Peter, that's right. And he is not here today. Don't have any guests or visitors today. I would say I've got four extra tickets. The Tulsa Symphony came here a while back, and they gave me a few extras of these. At this point, I think the only show left is the one in May 17th, Debussy and Rachmaninoff at 7:30. So if you know anyone that would be interested, these are 2 tickets in each packet. So I'm going to put them up at the front too. So if you want a date night or something like that, or know somebody that could use those on the 17th, let me know. Stan had something about MSNI.
Yes, last Wednesday morning, me, the boss, BJ, friend of Rotary named Sean, friend of BJ's, friend of Rotary named Sean, a guy from Sunrise named Bill, and who else was it? Me, Sean, BJ, Bill, and I think that was it. Oh, and Gray Tucker. We filled up 2 trailer loads of donated furniture and office furniture and various items of equipment, and a box truck. The box truck, did everybody see that I posted? It had all the Rotary Club logos on it. $600 from our club, and our template will get a Will Rogers Rotary on there. Okay, so that's what we need to do. That's what I highly recommend we do, and I'm willing to pony up part of that.
Okay.
Okay.
We will discuss it.
All right.
Sure. Yeah.
But we got going about 9:30, and we took one trailer went back to Sand Springs to go to the storage, and I don't know what they did with the box truck, but we unloaded the one trailer full of actual medical stuff back at the warehouse. We were done pretty much by 1:30. But yeah, it was a worthwhile effort by all who showed. Have we got a date at MSNI yet?
No, we don't. And I'm failing bad at connecting that, but yes, we need to do that soon.
Okay, so please note that.
I will put that
Call
on.
BJ, see
I
what
will.
seats
I need to call
available
BJ
out
and
there.
get that set
We can
up.
pull up their website and find out too,
Okay.
what the available dates are.
Okay.
They're a foot in the
Perfect.
door, and we'll go
And
from
that's usually on a Saturday morning, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Super.
Thank you, Stan.
MSNI is our medical trailer that we work with other Rotaries and pack up supplies to ship to other countries. Do you know where this one's going?
Don't know where we're shipping to this time. As far as I know, there's not a shipment pending yet.
Oh, okay.
It costs a fair amount of money to get
ship
get one
those
of those things packed and shipped.
Okay.
But-
Super duper. Thank you.
Anyway,
I want to share our work thing.
Yes, please.
At Riverfield, next, a week from this Thursday, our 4th and 5th graders are hosting a TEDx event. They have 13 student speakers and another 5 or 6 adults who will be speaking. And they have had to go through this whole, all the requirements to meet with TEDx. They've had the letters arrive. They've been
Oh, wow.
rehearsing. I got to watch one of the students, and he did a fabulous job. And
That's so cool.
after they're complete, they will submit this to TEDx for them to decide, for them to decide whether it will be part of their official postings.
That's
But
amazing.
we're real excited.
That's
We're real
awesome.
proud of them.
So
And
can you,
Fourth and fifth
grade, it
Wow.
blows me away. I think there are a variety of topics.
do you come and watch them or?
There are tickets available.
Oh, okay.
For all day. You can come and they have lunch and they have a all day.
Will it be at
lunch with
Riverfield?
them. Pardon me?
Where is it at Riverfield?
It's at Riverfield,
Okay.
it's in our Black Box Theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect,
So
that's awesome.
If anyone's interested, I think we still have tickets available, but
That's
it's
awesome.
very cool.
And I would like to personally thank all those Southwood, Cicero's, Chow House, all members here that have donated gift cards to Pause for Pause for their silent auction. By the way, there's a $100 gift card to Southwood's on the line in our silent auction. Once we get that going, and we'll send that out as well. Could you email me that info that you just said, and I can put it in an email to send out?
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Anyone else have anything? Susie, do you have anything else?
Pins for polio.
Pins for polio, done. April 29th, I meant to have a flyer here and did not print them out. We will be meeting at Andy B's Bowling down on 91st and Lewis. 81st and Lewis.
Just south of Southwood.
South of Southwood, exactly.
North of Southwood.
Oh, is it north of Southwood? Oh, okay.
This is going to be a fun event. It's going to be $40 a person. All the profits go to End Polio Now for the Rotary program. And it'll be sent out to the area groups. We're guesstimating like 30-ish people. There'll be 2 games. The cost includes your shoes, 2 games, and chips and salsa and all that fun stuff. We'll not be providing dinner, but there'll be plenty of snacks. You can order food there as well.
And alcohol. We're
Yes,
not
buy
providing.
as many drinks as you want. We'll even put out the little bumpers, and Susie, if you need the little ramp thing, to drop the ball down,
Yeah,
I'll be sure to make sure we get that and the bumpers up for you.
I'm gonna challenge you, man.
I've been in the bowling league this whole year, and I've just started to improve slightly. So it's just for fun, so don't get too competitive against each
We're a
other.
little short of our goal on polio. Of course, we can change it, but we have $435 and our goal is 1,000. So
We're hoping
hopefully
to
we can
build it up.
meet
Yes,
it
ma'am.
with.
no going full Walter Sobchak or anything?
I don't know what. Oh, you doing the Big Lebowski again? Are you gonna show up in like a big old blazer, a big old frumpy shirt and beard?
That's
That could work. Stay in the best. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
go ahead.
Patty and I are putting together our next year agenda, plans, and whatever. So, since there is no noon meeting on April 29th, we are going to see how many we could get to come at 11:30. We have a room at Brothers Hooligans.
Oh.
That's appropriate for you too. I know.
Yeah.
We just tried to make it central, and the officers, committee heads, the officers that we're going to elect today,
Okay.
hopefully, and just to go over, and anybody who kind of wants a say in what the plans are, the preliminary plans, and to go over, and then we can tell them kind of what their roles are, the officers, and where they could go online, and you know,
Perfect.
see a little video of what they're gonna do and all this kind of stuff.
Love
So,
that.
11:30 on the 29th, so instead of, coming down here, because I don't think, we don't even reserve this, do we, for the,
We do have it reserved, but
for
they
the
have.
5th Tuesday?
No, not for the 5th.
This is a
Correct.
5th Tuesday.
Yeah, 5th, they have something else in here.
I mean, it's reserved all the time except for the first Monday.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
well,
first Tuesday, sorry, yeah, even on fifth
I
Tuesday,
mean,
we just let them know
I
we're
guess
not
if the
coming.
majority wanted people come down here, we just did midterm. We didn't know, we don't have the information on here. Okay, 48th and Yale. So it's kind of in the
Okay.
middle, so anybody that can come on that Tuesday, and we'll send everything out, but we didn't want to send it out until they were officially elected. So
Perfect, okay.
we have enough here for a quorum, and you've got the list, right?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we just kind of read through it and we
Yeah.
yay or nay it real quick. Does that work? I'll ask everybody. Susie, should I just go ahead and do this selection right now? Jose, I promise we're more organized than this usually.
What?
Should I go ahead and read off the elections
Sure.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, for the 2025, 2026 officers, co-presidents, Jenny and Patty, yay. Immediate past president will be me. Secretary, Debbie Gordon. Treasurer, Kim Montgomery. Rotary Foundation and Will Rogers Trust, Jeff Castleberry. Sergeant at Arms, Dan Statuto with Susie assisting with a few new raffle ticket games, she says.
Yeah,
Membership, Susie and Mark. Board member at large, Rob Morgan. Board member at large, Tom Upshaw. And then for the trust board, that's Jeff Castleberry, Pat Dougal, Tom Gilbert, Jake McClellan, and Laura Garrett.
Yeah, the only one that really hasn't been voted on is Laura Garrett. She's gonna take my place. Jake, he does all the accounting for it. He just can't do any of the meetings.
So are we good? Do I call this to approval or?
any nominations?
Yeah, anybody have any other nominations for that or want to switch anything around or anything? If not, I'll ask for someone to motion for a vote.
So moved.
So moved, second by Jeff. Hey, all in favor of accepting these as read? Aye?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, super duper. All right, now we can get started with our wonderful speaker today. Jose Luis Hernandez has been the member of the Boston Avenue United Methodist Church and the founding director of Sistema Tulsa since 2014. Jose Luis graduated from Texas Christian University and received the Abreu Fellowship at the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston to study El Sistema Music Education Philosophy. In 2025, he completed the Public Leadership Credential at Harvard Kennedy School of Government, studying policy design, moral leadership, and program evaluation. In addition to his work with Sistema, he currently serves as the board chair for the Oklahoma Arts Institute, and the state's official School of the Arts. In 2023, he was recognized with an Accelerator Award from the George Kaiser Family Foundation. And this year, Sistema Tulsa has named one of the 3 finalists for the Oklahoma Center of Nonprofits One Awards in the Arts and Humanities category. He loves to spend time at museum, play tennis at La Fortune, and work on his piano recitals and recording projects, and enjoys family time at home with all the fun places that Tulsa has to offer. Would you join me in welcoming Jose?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am
With the mic.
very excited to be here. Thank you, Susie Morgan, for the invitation. Evan Taylor, I appreciate your introduction and thank you for your leadership in leading this wonderful club. Thanks everyone who are here today. My name is Jose Luis Hernandez. Again, I'm just so thankful for this opportunity to visit and to share about arts education in Tulsa. Before I get to Sistema Tulsa specifically, first allow me to share a reflection on educating youth today. We live in a time of rapid change, and that change can sometimes create unwanted anxieties and challenges. I work with young people, and I work to create systems that help young people. And as I labor in this field, I see a set of new challenges upon our generation. Young people need to be able to adapt to the new and many demands of these modern times. They must know how to discern truth, how to deal with technology, especially social media, and now artificial intelligence. Most importantly, how to know what is good, what is ethical, and what principled work looks like. Knowing that all work, whatever it is, and being present in the moment of that work can elevate your dignity. And that popularity or fame should not define your worth. It is so easy to get caught up in the illusions of TikTok or reality TV. I would like to add something that Howard Gardner, the Harvard author of the book and theory of multiple intelligences, often mentions these days, and that is the importance of the pursuit of beauty. How we should be mindful of the world around us, especially how things are put together and interacting with each other. I like to think of the natural world and how a raindrop can be so stunning when it reflects multicolor light from the sun, or when an architect builds a home, how a blueprint so precise and balanced in its symmetry can translate to a real physical structure built by skilled hands with an unshakable foundation, walls and roof. Being immersed in those experiences and being witness to their complexities is an act of seeing and experiencing beauty. And I know that music does the same thing when you peel all the layers in a Bob Dylan song, and I mean electric Dylan, with vocals, harmonica, bass guitar, organ, drum set, all in sync, and sometimes out of sync, improvising. That's beauty. Each of us grows up and learns about our values from our families, our schools, our churches, and the people that spend time with us, and those that we look up to. Your Rotary organization embraces a set of core values that promote truth, fairness, and goodwill, and a servant heart willing to put self before others. You call it the 4-way test. I appreciate groups like Rotary and your willingness to embrace causes and issues to help make our communities and cities stronger. Thank you. Young people's minds are very receptive to the influences around them, and they crave positive environments and a sense of security and safety. They also need to be challenged to do excellent work, and they need teachers who are devoted to excellence and can show what that excellent work looks like. I know those teachers, and they're amazing. In my field, I've encountered that artistic programs are not just conduits of information, but they are platforms for people to be creative and not passive. You see, creativity gives young people a sense of freedom. So this is going to help them too in the shaping of all those extraordinary skills that they will need in these modern times. There are a lot of people in the field working to make education better. People want to make classrooms more effective. We want to show student gains and achievement in math and reading. And I know that the community at large, and especially here in Tulsa, is more than willing to help schools by providing supplies, mentoring students, raising money, helping to improve programs, standing up for children and families and their future and their futures. It is the duty, our duty, of the lay people, the business people, the church people in this community to invest deeply in our local education. This is where my work with Sistema Tulsa enters the picture, because it creates the opportunities, the kinds of opportunities that can help encourage students in their journey throughout their schooling years. Now, I've noticed myself saying in the field, but really I am thinking of education as a harvest that takes time to grow. 10 years ago, Sistema Tulsa was a big idea for a bold church, the Boston Avenue United Methodist Church here, downtown, who was ready to embrace some innovation in how we did outreach. I worked with a senior pastor and church leaders who desired to align a faith-based congregation with the work of schools and play a part in producing better outcomes for students. I came to Boston Avenue because I was part of a fellowship program that selected professional musicians to learn the El Sistema music education philosophy. A little bit of history. The first Sistema program of its kind was started with Jose Antonio Abreu in the early 1970s. Abreu was a faith-filled educator, musician, and economist by training who understood that the roots of society's intractable problems, like self-sufficiency or upward mobility, laid in one's belief as a person of worth. He would often quote Mother Teresa, quote, "The most tragic thing about poverty is not the lack of bread or roof, but the feeling of being no one." Jose Antonio Abreu won the TED Prize. I think you are all familiar with the TED Prize. I heard a fellow Rotarian talking about TED at a TEDx event happening at Riverside School. The TED Prize was an innovative prize that recognized a social innovator, a leader in the world. And it did not give money away, but rather it granted a wish to change the world. That wish, Abreu's wish, included me and other colleagues, fellows from across the country, as students of the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston, where I began to learn nonprofit strategy and social innovation through music. Part of my fellowship work in this TED Prize involved visiting personally with Dr. Abreu and learning from his philosophy. He had been working on this program for 40 years at the time. And also traveling to U.S. schools and communities that were already implementing the program. Highlights of that experience were visiting inner city public schools and neighborhoods in Baltimore, in Philadelphia, in Los Angeles. And I was seeing how music was becoming readily accessible in places where it was really hard to feel hope. And it was changing the perspectives of students living in poverty and also empowering their families. I met dedicated leaders that were changing narratives about what these students could achieve and how far they could go. It was so exciting. Music education was being used to foster positive youth development. Now, I want you to hold on to that idea, positive youth development. We're going to explore this here a little bit later. So these Sistema programs, of which now there are about 80 chapters in the United States, typically start students in the elementary school level and follow them through high school graduation. Now, high school graduation remains the gold standard of economic sufficiency and predictor of personal success. You talk to education policymakers, it is the gold standard. The Strive organization and the Urban Institute have good data that says high school graduation is associated with healthier behaviors and better physical health, fewer chronic health conditions, and lower likelihood of premature death. High school graduation is also associated with lower rates of incarceration. High school graduates with no college experience earn a median of $9,500 more per year than high school dropouts. The arts and being invested in learning an instrument, painting, acting, does a tremendous job of keeping students engaged with productive activities, helping them set goals, and helping them look to the future with a positive attitude. We are seeing here locally that this kind of engagement in school and after-school programs diminishes chronic absenteeism, one of the most challenging areas of our education system. In a longitudinal study of the National Center for Education Statistics with schools all over the country, we learned that high school participation in extracurricular arts activities is generally associated with positive outcomes as recorded by math scores, high school GPAs, high school graduation, and college GPAs. Further, the number of fine arts credits completed is associated with a far likelihood of obtaining a high school diploma or equivalent, compared with students who did not complete arts credits. And this is national longitudinal data from the Center for the Education Statistics. I'm very proud to say that Sistema Tulsa has grown steadily in the last 10 years. I've been working at this program for a little over 10 years as founder and working with amazing people who are part of this program. And we have many graduates pursuing colleges and trade schools now. We began serving 32 students in 2015, and now we serve 800 across 5 satellites, 12 TPS partner schools, and our main hub at the Boston Avenue United Methodist Jubilee Center. All students receive free musical instruction, instruments, method books, snacks. They participate in creative electives. Our most important partners are Boston Avenue and the Tulsa Public Schools, which makes this a groundbreaking, positive collaboration between a church and a secular education system. It can be done. In our program, musical ensembles, students learn in groups. We embody a collaborative spirit, a caring community. We believe that each child is essential to the group as an individual and as a team player. And in a positive learning environment, students practice resilience, they nurture their motivation, and they improve their executive function. Something I'm very excited about too. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about the science that guides our work. So together with my team, and I have been working with colleagues for 10 years now that we've been together in this work. To name a few, Kelsey Marie Dorst, our Director of Education, Deborah Morgan, our lead strings teacher, Mr. Galt, my colleagues Zaria Polian, who was an alum of the program and now serving as an administrator, my advisory board, our former senior pastor, David Wiggs, and so many others that have been a part of this founding of Sistema. So together and over time, we developed what social innovators call a theory of change. Here's another concept to hang on to, theory of change. A set of statements about what we think our program will do as we work on it. Now, this theory is now supported by what people have experienced in our program. Our students, our families, our teachers, and so on. Now, what they tell us, and we did a robust study last year with a sampling of 99 students in the elementary age range. It was done by Rice Consulting LLC, a specialist group that conducts assessments for educational programming. And so what we learned from this, and it is about a 90-page report, which I would love to send to you. You can get your email address, or I can give you the abbreviated version that's 4 pages. It's really fascinating. So what they are telling us is that positive, safe, and validating environments grounded in community music education that we practice, this Sistema philosophy, is helping build resilience and motivation to achieve. All right, so we have a couple of components here in the theory of change. We have the music that we use, that we practice. We have the community that embraces that works together, that is working hard to achieve goals, artistic goals. And we have the environment that supports that. And all together, the combination of all things, begins to build resilience and motivation in students. And resilience and motivation are very much related to how we can best learn. In education, we call this a near transfer. So doing an activity that then allows you to transfer the skill set to another, right? So the resilience and motivation are very much related to how we can best learn. So that means that we see students attempt hard work and not give up as a result. Very important. Or they become curious about the world and other disciplines around them. So now we're talking about a more holistic education that happens as a result of the environment, the music, and the practice. What I get really excited about is that executive function skills are being practiced as students learn, memorize, improvise, coordinate musical activities and concerts. If you come to one of our classrooms, you will notice, groups of anywhere from 5, 10, 20, or 30 students engaging in a repertoire that is very complex, that each student is playing a different part and that they are responsible for that part, and they're putting it together with their stand partner. They're also thinking in terms of the technical aspects of what they need to do with their hands, how they need to follow a director or a conductor, how to react to the ebb and flow of the music. This is, really creating this incredible brain workout that is helping them, manage that learning situation, but then also transferring those skills to others. Finally, what's so important when we talk about environments and we talk about the church starting this program, the spirit of inclusion of Boston Avenue, and how that becomes life-affirming to students over time. And these kinds of relationships are empowering to students. Now, I'm sure you are wondering, well, how long do you have to spend learning music to start receiving some of these benefits? What's the dose? Right. When do you get these positive effects? Well, I would hope that once a student begins learning music, that this becomes a lifetime pursuit. And we are seeing that. We're seeing that in students that started with us in the 4th grade and have taken their instrument to their college orchestra, and they have graduated and they have come back with us to play with younger students. So it's become a reality. Now, but if not, it only takes 2 years. Now, studies from the Brain and Creativity Institute at the University of Southern California have shown that as little as 2 years of music instruction would have multiple benefits. They did a study at Youth Orchestra Los Angeles, a Sistema-inspired program. And this was a very highly scientific and complex study. They used MRI scans, they used qualitative and quantitative surveys, a very robust kind of research. So they figured that music training can change both the structure of the brain's white matter, which carries signals through the brain, and gray matter, which contains most of the brain's neurons that are active in processing information. They also found that music instruction also boosted the engagement of brain networks that are responsible for decision-making and the ability to focus attention and inhibit impulses. These are crucial skills. They're superpowers. There are human superpowers to engage in a life of responsible citizenship. It is what we call executive function. And the Harvard Center for the Developing Child has been studying this for a long time and really taking a look how children and youth can develop those skills over time or not. And what are those situations that hinder development of those skills? Here at Sistema Tulsa, we're helping improve executive functioning. Our own homegrown data shows remarkable results in this elementary age population in terms of music helping develop executive function. So we're attempting to correlate the effects of music learning on improvements in working memory, inhibitory control, and mental flexibility. Again, what the Harvard Center for the Developing Child calls the brain's air traffic control system. So I'm going to give you some data points about some of these findings that from last year's sampling of 99 elementary students at Sistema Tulsa for at least 2 years. So in terms of working memory, and the matrix is worse, same, or better. So I'll read those numbers. Our Sistema students, now we also, the way we did this is that we did a comparison group. So we compared students who were participating in Sistema to students that were not participating in Sistema in their own school. So that's the comparison. Are Sistema students able to retain and remember teachings at school? Worse, same, or better? Worse, 0%, same, 54%, better, 46%. Mental flexibility. Are Sistema students able to adapt when things unexpectedly change? Worse, same, or better? So worse, 0%, same, 36%, better, 64%. Another mental flexibility question. How would you rate the ease of switching between tasks or activities for Sistema students? 0% worse, 45% same, 55% better. In the self-control piece, inhibitory control, compared to other students, do Sistema students work with other kids their age? Worse, same, or better? Worse, 0%, same, 31%, better, 69%. And then our Sistema students' grades in school, worse, same, or better. 0% worse, 40% the same, and 60% better. So I am very proud of the work that we do at Sistema Tulsa, because, and just so happy about it, because I get to see how students, how teachers, how families, school systems, churches, and the community at large come together to help students succeed. It's more than a teaching and learning program. It's a system of support. I get to meet students in classrooms and rehearsal spaces with instruments in hand, ready to learn something new every day and become part of a community of aspirations, a community of hope. Jose Abreu, my mentor, the El Sistema founder, once said that successful organizations never arrive, but are always in the process of becoming. As we all are, naturally inclined and encouraged as human beings to become better people, better neighbors, better parents, leaders, and friends. Thank you for having me today, friends.
We probably have time for maybe one quick question, maybe two.
You come first.
Oh, arm wrestle over it, come on.
No, is the program during school or after school?
Most of our program is after school.
Okay.
Between the hours of 3:30 and 7. And we also have a strand of our program that works during the school time. And that's what we call the partner schools. And we're in about 10 or so middle schools and high schools in TPS, assisting their music teacher in their system there. So we have a combination, but mostly after school.
How do all of the students get there from all of the different schools and locations?
How do all the students get there?
Yeah.
So when we first started the program, we rented buses from TPS, and we focused on actually just 3 elementary schools, and we brought them to Boston Avenue. As our program expanded, and honestly, you know, the ability to use buses, you know, just became more challenging. We really looked at this idea of how do we bring the program closer to the community. So this is where the idea of our satellite schools came about. So what that means is that we have the program at Boston Avenue, which is our main hub, and students come there. Either the parents bring them, or they figure out a carpool, or something that works for them. But then we also now go to 5 other elementary schools, and we meet the students where they are right after school. We're at 5 schools: Tisdale, Mayo, Grissom, Whitman, and missing one.
Not for us.
Oh, wait.
It's on my notes. I'll get. We've got 5 schools, and we have the goal of having 10 satellites in the next few years. So we want to be able to have this program, or invest this program in all of the Tulsa geography. Now, all these students, the satellites, the partners, the main hub students, come to Boston Avenue for special events and concerts and things that we do together. So everybody's learning. There are multiple entry points to the Sistema as a whole, and everyone's learning similar repertoire and similar things that it is easier to come together. So that's how we do it. It's a longer answer, but yeah.
So when you get a little 4th grader, do they know what a treble clef is, or a bass clef, or what the notes are?
No, I mean we take beginners, from just from the very beginning.
Wow.
And it's actually a really encouraging and quite magical process, because they come with their parents, they come with their families, knowing that this is a place that they can achieve. So they have a hunger to learn. They have an eagerness to get ready, and especially because we've been at this for 10 years, they can see what other kids have done, So, they can see themselves reflected in that success and that achievement. You just have to have a willingness to learn and work hard. It's a free program, but I always say that there's nothing free about hard work. You got to put in the work.
How's it funded?
Jose, are you a Rotarian?
I'm not a Rotarian.
Would you like to be?
Yeah.
I think I align with your values pretty good.
Yeah, how
can
are
talk.
you
How do
funded?
you fund it?
Yeah. How is Sistema Tulsa funded? So we are under the umbrella of Boston Avenue United Methodist Church, a 501c3 in its own right, and we receive support from the church. And then I go out and fundraise. About 80 to 90% of the support that we need. There are about, I would say, 10 to 15 local foundations who have been very dedicated to this work, as well as individuals and other partners really that do a lot of in-kind services for us. We work with the Food Bank of Eastern Oklahoma to provide thousands of snacks to kids. And they provide that service to us and the students for free. And we work in the schools and we utilize their spaces. We have opportunities to utilize musical instruments that belong to TPS and that we can share, that they share with us and their students. So I would say that the question of how we are funded in a kind of a community. It's a community approach, and it's the kind of thing that I was talking about. That this being a system of support, and this being a system of support aligns with other systems of support. And Tulsa's really good about, we find each other and we help each other.
Great. All right, well, out of respect to time, I know we're cut off. If you're able to stick around at all for a minute or two, if anyone else had any other questions, we'll go ahead and let you draw a 50-50 raffle out of here. If you just, like Larry, Daryl, and Daryl up here. Hold on. We need to get a new basket.
I think you're right.
This thing just spills them out. I think. There we go. Okay, there you go.
Drum roll.
You better take mine, Jose Luis.
Last 3 digits.
All right. All right.
And the last 3 digits are 0, 2, 3.
Oh my
All
God.
right. I'll pay you afterwards.
All right. Jose, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
That's my
Before we
hat.
close the meeting, we need to do our 4-way test. And
What?
also let you know, next week, we will be having Kay Mon with Moms Demand Action. She'll be speaking. And then in the future, we have Carlos Moreno, a local artist, or a local author, who'll be presenting, along with Artsy Cartsy and one other author. I can't remember who they are right now, but we'll get to it. So let's do the test. Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And our last one, will it be fun?
Well, you
All
want to
right.
find out.
Thank you guys very much. We are officially adjourned.